So guys,
I really didn't want to make a video about this.
I wasn't planning on subjecting myself to any more of Corey Feldman's music, but then he reached out to me. And by reached out to me, I mean somebody paid him $250 to record a 4-minute video of him basically telling me that it's okay to be gay.
But I'm here today with a very special video message for Josh. What's up, Josh? I was told that by your friends that they're concerned about you because you might be gay.
Oh, you just gotta love your loyal fans on Discord. Shout out to If We Shadows for that, by the way. So, you don't just waste a personalized clip of Corey Feldman saying gay is okay, you review another one of his albums. I low-key kind of wanted to do this anyway. I was always interested in Corey's mysterious middle period of his music career with 2002's Former Child Actor. This album has gotten the least amount of love or attention in any form, and I figured it would be a good idea to find out why and continue my search to see if there is truly a great Corey Feldman song out there somewhere. So stick around for that. This is Dancing with Ghosts.
Everybody's got to be ready to tear it up. Because I'm ready. I'm ready. This next song, to talk about excitement and enlightenment, this is off my...
See, I think Corey looks best here. So I have never before on this show encountered an album that was so elusive. It might as well have been released by your uncle. This album is kept on life support by Corey paying to have it distributed to streaming services. But outside of that, I could not find any interviews, no live performances, barely any press. In fact, all I found in regards to press was a user review on the website allmusic.com where the reviewer gave it a half star out of 5. Corey clearly made his big splash when he started touring behind his ridiculous 2016 Angelic to the Core album with all the memes and viral moments that came with it. Because up until that point, as far as the internet was concerned, Corey Feldman didn't make music. Now, of course, there are entire cottage industries of those whose sole purpose it is to dunk on Corey Feldman anytime he puts out any new video or clip of him doing anything. The endless rivers of cringe and incompetence flow abundantly with this guy. With the release of the Love Left 2.1 box set, we were able to get an insight into the beginnings of Corey Feldman's music career. In fact, I did an entire live stream where we watched both DVDs that were included in the box set. That included a documentary he made about his music career and a bunch of rare and never-before-seen videos. But Former Child Actor has yet to receive any kind of love whatsoever. It's the black sheep. It's the dark album. So let's get started. Nurse, prep me for surgery. First, can we talk about this hideous album cover? What is he standing behind? I have been racking my brain trying to figure out what this thing could be. At first, I thought it was some aluminum window frame from an abandoned mobile home, but the more I look at it, it appears to be some kind of pole where a sign might go. Either way, it's quite the eyesore. Corey Feldman hadn't started looking weird yet, so he was probably better off just having his face as the album cover and calling it a day. But incompetence runs deep in his veins, so he had to find a way to make it not make sense. Well, mission fucking accomplished. This kind of goes without saying, but the font looks like something you could have banged out on Microsoft Word in about 30 seconds. Also, before delving into this album, I have to say, there are no lyrics to be found online for this. Only the first song and partially the third song have lyrics to be found online. Everything else, you're on your own, unless you want to spend $80 on eBay to buy the CD, but I think we can do without that. So the album opens up with the eponymous Former Child Actor. Just generic, crappy funk rock. Corey's constipated Gene Simmons vocals are still intact. When the chorus kicks in, it sounds like they forgot to slap distortion on the guitars in the Pro Tools session. It sounds like it should be this driving rock part, but it's just clean sounding guitars, which is weird.
I watch your faces turn away. The work I do is all in vain.
And Corey actually swears on this song. Probably the most telling thing about this song, though, are the lyrics. I've been boxed in, locked out, shut down. I want so much more. You can't see me. You can't free me. I'm just your whore. I watch the faces turn away. The work I do is all in vain. I look around for someone to blame. I could have been great, could have been a contender, but now I can't do shit because I'm a former child actor. My message is strength, and that should be a factor, but no one gives a crap because I'm a former child actor. I mean, not only is Corey being brutally honest in this song for probably the first time and only time in his music career, but he's also dropping the S-bomb? You see, when Corey's first album, Love Left, was released all the way back in 1994, the Feldster still believed he had a viable chance making it in the music industry. But by 2002, Corey Feldman had been chewed up and spit out by the entertainment industry as a whole. Just a year later, Corey would subject himself to one of those washed-up celebrity reality TV shows in VH1's The Surreal Life.
I am an icon. I am an establishment. More than an actor, more than a musician, I've become a celebrity. I went through my rehab and got better, and then when I came out the other side, I was much more sure of myself.
Corey could see the writing on the wall regarding his career. Of course, later, he would squeeze even more juice out of those member berries with The Two Coreys on A&E.
Look, what the f***? Do not accept me.
You guys,
you don't call my wife. Look, you understand?
This show, more than anything, chronicled the failing mental health and drug addiction of Corey Haim, the more troubled but far less cringy Corey. I think Corey Feldman found Jesus sometime after Haim's death and removed swearing from his vernacular. So as we go on, let's see if this turns out to be the bitter Corey Feldman album. The dark Corey Feldman album. The next song is Diseased. So this is the only song from this entire album that was represented in Corey's 2024 Loserville set. This song is straight up Corey Feldman's attempt at nu metal, specifically Limp Bizkit. Now it makes sense why they decided to bust this one out for Loserville, where Limp Bizkit was headlining. The mix on this song is completely awful for the genre they're going for. The guitar is hard stereo separated to the right and left speakers, with the bass, drums, and vocals all the way prominently featured right in the center of the stereo spectrum, which is just such an awful way to mix this genre of music. The guitars are EQ'd to sound like they're coming through a telephone. The whole thing just sounds like a demo.
We're beneath the seas with a heart of pain and a hair of disease.
As I stated earlier, I couldn't find the lyrics to this song anywhere online, but from what I could gather, he says things like, with a heart of pain and a head of disease. He tries to sound hard and presents this rap rock type vocal that was popular at that time, but it's Corey Feldman, so it just comes off as parody. Track number 3, Systematic Gateway, is clearly going for a dark, gritty synth thing, but I shudder to even compare it to a poor man's Nine Inch Nails because it doesn't even hit that benchmark. The verse is so garbled with this hideous, distorted vocal filter that kind of undulates in and out of comprehensibility. This is one of the few songs on the album that has lyrics out in the wild, but the contributors at Genius just gave up after a while and left question-marked brackets in the areas that they couldn't decipher.
Down a road, memories blocked from all your door, out of shit.
On the back half of this track, there is a CD skipping effect. Now, given this is Corey Feldman we're talking about, this could very well be an accidental oversight. For all we know, his master tape of this album could just be some scratch CDR he had in his basement. But if he did this effect on purpose, wow, what a shitty effect. Seeing as it came out in 2002, most people would have heard this on a CD and probably thought they bought a product that was faulty. Thankfully, nobody bought it. Track number 4, You Can't Win, starts out with a cheap-sounding electric piano, and it starts off with Corey whispering seductively into my ear.
My heart is poured out for you, and you've left me lying there.
This is a minor key acoustic piano track that is competently mixed, produced, and to a smaller degree, sung. There is interesting production techniques as far as instrument panning, with initially only the left speaker providing accompaniment, with the right kicking in later on, along with competently produced backup harmonies that occupy the complete panoramic sphere instead of just vertically centered like what Corey normally does with all of his songs. When the chorus kicks in, not only is it a decent, simple hook, but the lush harmonies paired with an introduction of simple bass and drum backdrops give this song a nice resolve to the buildup of the verses. can't believe I'm saying any of this shit about a Corey Feldman song. His singing, of course, is nothing special, and a more talented singer would have certainly done this track much more justice, but with that being said, hats off to Corey for not trying any vocal bullshit like he does in 99% of his other songs. I would bet a great deal of money that a well-known outside producer worked heavily on the arrangement for this song, and Corey had very little to do with it because only someone who knew what they were doing in the studio could have pulled off this kind of production. There's not even any fruity arrangements or change-ups in the song, which is a calling card of Feldman's writing style. His goofy lyrics are still apparent, though, with him using the word schmuck in the second verse. I guess he needed a word that rhymed with luck.
I feel like a schmuck, 'cause I don't look too cool when I'm down on my luck.
But yeah, this is a very listenable Corey Feldman song. By the time we get to track number 5, Megalo Man, just like that, any goodwill that was garnered from You Can't Win is instantly destroyed with this track. This is the first MJ ripoff on this album, and I commend him for being able to hold back for 4 whole songs without busting out all the Michael Jackson impersonations. But he apparently couldn't hold it in any longer by the time this song kicks in. The song has this almost Dirty Diana synth wash at the beginning, but then all of the fruity Corey Feldman ideas kick in. The crappy funk, the weird arrangement ideas, and the copious amount of Michael Jackson-esque ad-libs.
You think your shit doesn't stink, but you're just not in sync with humanity.
By verse 2, Corey has dropped the S-bomb again. Man, this album should almost come paired with a parental advisory warning at this point. There's a horrible telephone frequency filter on the entirety of Feldman's vocals in this song, which makes it sound like he had to track his vocals from prison, like many rappers have had to do since. Maybe Corey started this trend. Lyrically, it sounds like Corey is talking about somebody with a megalomaniacal personality, and with the sheer amount of in the song, it almost makes me wonder if he finally turned his back on his old friend and mentor, Michael Jackson. With lyrics like, "You change your look, you set the bait, we bit the hook, and I believed in you," and just the very blatant MJ ad-libs, I just had to scour the internet to back up what I already believed to be true. I found an interview transcript from an ABC News article dated February 10th, 2005 that says, quote, "As a teen, Feldman, known in his roles in movies such as Gremlins, The Goonies, and Stand By Me, and who appeared in the first season of the celebrity reality TV show The Surreal Life, became friends with Jackson. They were often seen together dressed in similar outfits. Their friendship waned and finally ended in 2001. Feldman later released Megalo Man, a highly critical song about Jackson, on his CD Former Child Star, released in 2002. See, I fucking knew it! Damn, I'm smart! This, of course, was after Corey started to question a lot of the things he personally witnessed while hanging out with MJ, and did indeed at one point turn on him in the media. What he thinks about Michael now is uncertain, but he continues to bite off the dude's style long after he died, so he must not find him that abhorrent. Track number 6, Phony People. Man, Corey Feldman fucking loves that telephone vocal filter effect on this record, because he uses it again on this song where he's doing this whole talk singing thing throughout most of the track. This filter effect eats up so much of the high-end frequency range of this song, it starts to distort when mixed in with the rest of the instruments, which causes a painful listening experience even at low volumes. Instrumentally, it's your typical shitty funk rock fare that you've come to know from the Feldog. Lyrically, it's a facile take on people who make themselves seem like bigger deals than what they actually are. Perhaps Corey could take some cues from these lyrics when it comes to his music career.
We're all gay sometimes.
At 2 minutes in, you feel like you're at the dentist with this obnoxious drill-sounding synthesizer.
To a shopping mall to pick up some new threads. Skip well, trying to ultimate.
Which is appropriate because listening to this album really feels like pulling teeth. Track number 7, I'm Flying Away. You could almost pair this song as a Walk Away 2.0. It's an acoustically driven song layered with some Beatles-esque Strawberry Fields Forever mellotron over the chorus, with the vocals themselves attempting an almost Beatles feel aside from his occasional constipated Gene Simmons outburst. Once again, that fucking telephone effect is used on at least half of this song and has handily worn out its welcome at this point in the album. Track 8 is fucking Jingle Bell Rock. It's a cover of the Christmas classic Jingle Bell Rock.
Jingle bell, jingle bell rock. Jingle bells chiming, jingle bell.
Randomly, towards the end of the record, we get a shittily produced cover of Jingle Bell Rock with an intro that almost sounds like if you mix Pink Floyd's In the Flesh with the Christmas classic.
Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock.
Nobody in their right mind would ever add this track to their favorite Christmas playlist. I don't think I have ever heard of an artist randomly throwing in a Christmas cover on an ordinary album that wasn't even Christmas themed, and this album was released in July! Track number 9 is called What Is a Dog? Oh man, this song is all kinds of bad. This is a shitty bluesy pastiche starring Corey's awful harmonica playing, where he blows indiscriminately into the instrument without forming individual notes. I've always wondered this about Corey Feldman. He does know that there is actually a technique to playing harmonica, and it's not just blowing and sucking air out of the thing, right? Corey's constipation levels are very high in this song when it comes to his vocals. He's trying to portray this gritty R&B singer, but just sounds like he's mocking one. Editing Bay Josh here again. I just have to chime in even further because I feel like I didn't take it hard enough on that song. There is just no groove whatsoever. It's a funk/rock song, but there's just literally no groove whatsoever. It sounds like two songs being played on top of each other. And it's a mix issue, it's a performance issue. Get that fucking god-awful harmonica out of there. This is probably like the worst song on the album. Track 10, Imagine. No. You're not fucking covering John Lennon's Imagine.
Imagine there's no heaven. It's easy if you...
God damn it, he did. Okay. You know, it's bad enough that this is stock baby-making R&B music that you might have heard during one of the various sex scenes in The Room.
Imagine there's no country.
But at the beginning of the song, Corey is doing, yet again, more creepy mouth ad-libs. It sounds like he's struggling to shake the last few drops of piss out of his dick. If there's one thing Corey prides himself on, and there's a lot of things he prides himself on, but one of the things he simply refuses to let go of is his vocal ad-libs. Corey thinks that he's so good at doing these, and I feel like the only reason he even does them is because he's heard much bigger artists do it, therefore he has to do it. Corey's voice does not sound good on this song at all. It is important to know your wheelhouse as a singer and in what situations your voice does and does not sound good.
But I'm not the only one. No. I hope someday.
Unsurprisingly, the production on this song is far better than most of the other songs on this album, which doesn't surprise me because consistency is not a part of the Corey Feldman formula. I believe that Corey springs for better producers on songs that he felt were going to be the singles for the album, because there is a marked difference between how this song sounds versus the track right before it, or how You Can't Win sounds compared to the next track, Megalo Man. I'm assuming these songs were the intended singles that ultimately never ended up amounting to anything, which is surprising given the high demand for Corey Feldman music in 2002. So after finding the liner notes of this album online, I was able to confirm that the tracks I pointed out as the ones that sounded better than the other tracks in the album were in fact co-produced at a different studio and by a different co-producer. And I believe wholeheartedly that these were fully produced by these people and not simply co-produced. But, you know, Corey's ego and all. Track 11, I believe again, parentheses, special bonus track. I don't know why this is labeled as special bonus track. It's even labeled that way on the actual CD, because at first I thought this might have been a Spotify exclusive or something like that. Also, who the fuck makes the bonus track the second to last song in the album? The bonus track 100% of the time has been the last song on an album. That's why it's a bonus. God God, the sheer dumbassery of this dude runs so deep. I would use a harsher word to describe him, but I'm not trying to get canceled, but it rhymes with uncharted. Anyway, this is another one of Corey's schmaltzy Bryan Adams, Michael Bolton wannabe ballads, but since it's Corey, it sucks.
To the promised land, yeah, yeah. Oh, now I don't want to hurt again.
And track number 12, we get, oh my God, this is where he was hiding What's Up With the Youth. In my previous Corey Feldman Love Left 2.0 video, I was complaining about What's Up With Youth being left off his B-Sides album. Well, slap my ass and call me Sally. This song was never a B-side after all. It just took him like 15 years to finally put it on an album. So let's check out the 2002 version of What's Up With Youth.
What's up with the youth? What's up with the youth? What's up with the youth? What's up with the youth?
Oh, hell yeah. Just as corny as I remember it. Corey was around 31 years old when this album was released. The year was 2002, nu metal and Hot Topic ruled the zeitgeist, and teenagers like myself had no idea that Corey Feldman had a music career. But if we did, and I picked up this CD in 2002 and saw the title What's Up With Youth, oh man. Me and my friends would have clowned on this shit so hard. That cliched old man saying of "What's up with the youth these days?" was beyond played out even 20 years ago, but to Corey, this is no laughing matter. Not only was he dead-ass serious about this song, he even claimed that Michael Jackson offered to take this song to Tommy Mottola, the head of Sony Music Entertainment, and make it a #1 hit song.
Corey, this is amazing. This song is incredible, Corey. I'm telling you, I can make it #1. And I'm like, you want the song? And he's like, no, I don't mean for me, for you. I'm saying you could get this all the way to #1. I could walk you in to Tommy Mottola right now, and I could get you a #1 record. I could walk you into CBS and present this song and do it. And I was like, oh, really? That's really sweet of you, Michael, but I don't want to ask you to do that. And he goes, well, you're not asking. I'm telling you I'll do it. And I'm like, you know, I appreciate it, but I always wanted to make it on my own, and I felt like if I was ever going to do it, I would do it on my own, and I don't know, I would feel like if you did that for me, I would just be, you know, riding on your coattails. He's like, okay. Bad business move, eh?
But that was all the way back in the early 90s, when this song still would have been seen as a fucking joke. Corey didn't want Michael Jackson's help, or so the story goes. He wanted to find success on his own, so he rebuffed Jackson's alleged assist. He then proceeded to go on the Howard Stern show to perform this hidden gem of a song surrounded by little people, half-naked chicks, and a cracked-out Howard Stern who was for some reason wearing a bald cap. Feldman looked like a fucking doofus and was seen as a joke by the mainstream. That's why What's Up With Youth was left off his first record that came out in 1994. But in 2002, Corey said fuck it and hedged his bets on What's Up With Youth being the hidden gem hit song that he had been looking for. And nothing happened because the song was never good. It was never going to be a hit. It was a cringe premise and Corey Feldman can't sing. So there's a little bit of Delulu for you to feast on. I hope you found that entertaining. So that concludes Corey's mysterious middle album, Former Child Actor. There's no tangible theme to this album, either musically or lyrically. In one song, he's dissing Michael Jackson. In another, he's lamenting his status as a former child actor. And in yet another, he's asking what's up with the youth. Musically, it starts out as an attempt at being heavy, but then devolves into Corey's default funky schlock, where he tries his best attempt at a gritty soul singer, a constipated Gene Simmons, or a Timu Michael Jackson. I don't know why in the hell I expected more from this album. I think it's because I had hoped Corey had learned his lesson in failure from his first record, and by the second record, especially given the change in culture, Corey would have put out something that was actually listenable. He was still relatively young and hadn't fully lost his mind like he would do in 2016 with Angelic to the Core. But no, this is standard fare Corey suckage, with the one exception being You Can't Win, which I'm a little surprised he doesn't play live because it's probably, unironically, one of his best songs, which again, isn't saying a whole lot. This album is never mentioned in the pantheon of Corey lore. Corey lore! But now you know it exists. You're welcome. It's kind of pricey these days, so if you happen to see it across a thrift shop, maybe consider picking it up, if not just for the lulz. Anyway, until next time, have a good rest of your night.
We're all gay sometimes.